comment down below so that you can be eligible for cash giveaways. The algorithm will choose you at random, and we need to have you in the comments down below. Otherwise, if we don't know who you are, we can't give you away. Not give you away. We don't give you away, but we do give away to those that are eligible some cash. So comment down below if you want a chance at the cash. Hit the notification bell somewhere over there, and subscribe if you haven't already. More to come. I want to talk a little bit today about entrepreneurship and the school system itself, and how school is letting a lot of people down, and how people get led down the garden path a little bit when they'd be better off either just having a job and saving up a lot of money when they're young and building and working towards their future foundationally, monetarily, as well as experience-wise, and in learning some things that are going to be very useful. So I'm going to start with how school is letting people down, and mainstream media has been talking about this. I think even on CNN a day or two ago, they were talking about how it's a little bit of a farce in the sense that people get loaded up with a lot of debt, and they come out of college and they really just are buried with huge amounts of stress with this monkey they're carrying on their back. And don't get me wrong, I don't think that school is a bad thing. I think school is a great thing, and it's good for instilling many different disciplines that we can benefit from later on in life. But in terms of paying out big money when you're older, unless you're looking to be a professional in a sense that, and I it's an old term, but it might not be the right term, but when I say that, I mean doctor, lawyer, chiropractor, orthodontist, professions where you do need and it is beneficial to have a very intricate knowledge that is passed on to you so that you can then practice and perfect as you go along. And of course you need intricate knowledge with most things, but just to simplify what I'm saying, you can't really, it's not a great idea if you're looking to be a brain surgeon to go out and kind of try to pick up the trade, pick up the profession as you go along, right? So I think you all know what I mean by that, and I don't want to spend too much time mincing words with that. So what I'm saying is, in short, to go to school and to go into even an Ivy League school, you need to be in your top 2 or 3% of your class to have a chance at a great job, a great position where you'll be able to pay back that college debt and not be I guess too stressed over it. Not that anyone's happy having to pay back $100,000 or $200,000, and even people that get really the best positions are paying that off well into their 30s and 40s. So if you're not a school-oriented, book-bright person in a sense, that's okay. You can still, there's plenty of people that have generated millions, not being book-bright, but being, world-smart, street-smart, and being motivated and knowing how to focus and zoom in on something. So it's not the end of the world if you don't go to school. As a matter of fact, and when I say don't go to school, I mean higher education and after high school and going into college and university and paying out big amounts of money in order to participate. It's a nice thing in terms of, if someone else is going to take care of it, if you have wealthy parents. It's a nice social experience. You can meet some good people that you can enjoy yourself, have a good time, mature further while you're in school, take advantage of that social experience in college or in university, depending on what part of the world that you're in. In Canada, college is called CEGEP, for instance, and then you have university, and in the States, of course, you can go from high school and then into university. So anyhow, it's good as not a social experiment, but for you to kind of mature and be in that kind of like a cake in the oven that needs its time to blossom. But if someone else is not paying for it, and you are not someone who loves school and you don't want to be a professional, do not spend tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands and get student loaned up, because the truth of the matter is, and you can look this up, I'm not going to be far off if you don't want to take my word for it, 90% of people are never, ever, ever going to run their own show. They're going to work for someone. It's of the 10% that people run their own show and are not working for someone but are employing people. So what I'm getting at is, for most people, the smarter route to go would be find something that you're very passionate about Everyone has something that they're good at. Find something that you're good at and allow yourself to start working when you're done with school. Save your money, very, very important. And your early years, even if you save just a little bit of money, a person that saves even $100 a week, you would be amazed. At the end of a year, it's $5,000, and 10 years later, you have $50,000. And that's not aggressive saving. And that really is the time to build up a nest egg where you can solidify your future and be in a position where you're miles ahead of everybody else if you don't go out and just don't buy stupid stuff. I don't know how else to say it to you. I mean, I had already generated, made over $1 million by the time I was 26 years old. Had I saved $1 million by that time? No, I had not. And if you spend your money on, things that are fun and silly things, it's going to come back to bite you in the butt, because for most people, they're not going to make $1 million or more by the time they turn 26. So sometimes it's what you save, it's not just what you make. It's important to make the right decisions, and you don't need to make tons of money in your early years to have things easy later on. You do need to sacrifice, but when you don't have dependents and you don't have things you're responsible for, when you're only responsible for your own self, you can do tremendous things where you could save up enough to even invest in a small income property and generate great revenue. Two of the best businesses you'll ever find, one that's never going to go away, real estate, and another for freedom of movement when you master it is an online business, entrepreneurship, and applying it towards the internet. Entrepreneurship is a talent. It's not something that you can just say you're an entrepreneur because you're trying to make money without being employed by somebody. And there's a lot of that going on. It's an epidemic. It's dangerous. People are lying to themselves. I'm going to tell you right now, do not call yourself an entrepreneur unless you want to be a joke. You're an entrepreneur only, and not a clown, only if you're supporting your own self with your own efforts. In other words, if you're able to pay for your lifestyle, support a family, or at least support yourself without being employed by someone else, then you're an entrepreneur. If you're employed by someone else and you sustain yourself by being employed by someone else, or you live with your parents, or you have help, or whatever, you get the point? You are not an entrepreneur. You are an aspiring entrepreneur. So, and it's important to be honest, and there's a lot of people out there on the internet there that the, fake it till you make it nonsense. You don't want to fake it till you make it, because the truth is you end up believing your own lies, and it only hurts you. It really doesn't help you learn anything, be productive, or be able to help others in any useful manner whatsoever. Too many people are enamored with the wrong things. Too many people are so deeply enamored with their own idea, even if it's a complete crappy, terrible idea, they're so in love with the idea working that they lose sight of the fact that their idea just sucks. It's terrible, and they don't know when to cut the cord, stop, and go in a different direction. And what that ends up doing is it builds up a lot of debt, a lot of wasted time, a lot of wasted money, and a lot of wasted investment when a person does not know when enough is enough. The other thing, a lot of entrepreneurs are so immersed in raising funds, raising capital, raising money. Let me tell you something, it might feel cool if you manage to raise a good amount of money, but it's going to feel the opposite of that if you lose all the money, because you have no system in place and no understanding of sales and marketing. It's not going to be the money that makes you the money. It's going to be having a great idea, a great product or service, and having a sales and marketing process in place that you understand, that you are not at the mercy of another for, so that you can then, once you've generated revenue and aren't raising money to just build debt and experiment and crash and burn, you have a much higher chance of success if you're able to make money with your business, generate profits and generate revenue, and then consider raising money instead of raising money first. And a lot of people have it backwards, are doing it wrong. It's causing a lot of casualty and a lot of science fiction within business and entrepreneurship. So I implore you, Use your logic. I know most of you know what's right and what's wrong, and if you think about things logically and you don't let yourself get overwhelmed with the bells and whistles, so many people out there think that if they just have the right software, then the greatest, next best shiny object that they can apply to their business, if they could just find it, it's going to put them over the top. And the truth of the matter is, that's not what's going to put you over the top. You're what's going to put you over the top. And daily, the right daily moves, the right daily mindset, having the right structures in place, that's what's going to do it for you, nothing else.